And hello everyone, hope you're all going fabulously well on this wonderful Tuesday. I'm caught. My controller is caught around my son's headphones. Alright, I am nearly ready. Just adjust my headphone speakers. Alrighty, let's jump back into our adventures with Sherlock Holmes in Cordona. I can't exactly remember where we're up to. I've been awake. That's right. We have to find this gentleman. Now, whereabouts am I? I'm at Cordona City Hall. Okay. I vaguely remember.
Treasure maps from the governor. Find 8.
I think we need to go into the town hall. So I did do a little bit of sticky baking for some help. Actually, I just want to check we've got the information. I thought we did. Thomas Norton, that's right. Okay. Let's see if she knows
I'm curious,
anything.
how did Mycroft recruit you? I doubt you're a field agent. I imagine you work with intelligence.
That's correct. Your brother noticed me when I tracked down a spy at the archives. That's how our cooperation began. And you? Did Mycroft force you into this?
Not at all. We simply have a mutual interest in someone. Or something.
Of course. A fruitful and willing collaboration, I'm sure.
Well, I'm his younger brother. I have to accept the consequences of being a close relative of an official figure.
I suppose, in a way, we are colleagues, Mr. Holmes.
In the remotest way possible, Miss Oni.
Okay, well that wasn't helpful at all. Alright. Now I thought he was... Oh! That's the same name. Okay, I guess we'll head on in and speak to this gentleman.
If you're here on matters of signing up for military service, come back tomorrow. Our department needs to straighten out some business.
Alright, let's observe. He's had no time to shave. What about his eyes? Red eyes, he didn't sleep last night. Well worn, never removed. The Order of the Bath. Well-worn clothes or crumpled clothes. Stays at work late. And we've got one more. Oh, hello. Have we been drinking some red wine or... Actually, I think that's a broken... It's either... No, it's not a broken glass. It's probably a thing full of pencils or pens. Red stain. Wine. Alright. I Red wine stain on the wrist and his uh, unshaven attitude, face indicate a lazy attitude towards his duty. The order of the bath looks quite worn. The man is proud of it and never takes it off. I suppose if you got a commendation like that, why not? Wrinkled clothes and red eyes may mean that he didn't return home last night instead of work. This man would rather lose himself in privity and alcohol. He is, I would say, a party goer. And considering what we believe he did, it's
Why are you staring at me like I'm a Madame Tussauds figure?
could be very
Didn't you hear
accurate.
what I just said?
On my way here, I was wondering whether you might regret what you did. I tried my best to retain at least a shred of faith in humanity. I had hoped that you would hear her scream, see her face in your dreams, or at least once ask yourself how Nayla might feel.
Who?
Neither of my hopes were fulfilled.
Why are you here?
Ooh, what do we do? Should we send him to justice, show him the photo? I don't think punching him in the face is going to help. Let's show him the photograph.
Do you recognize this man?
We definitely look alike. But you have the wrong person.
Really? Then you won't mind if I pass this along to the newspaper.
All right. All right.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Is
whoa.
this about money, as you said in the letter?
Sorry about that, guys.
What kind of sum are we talking about?
I've never written a single word to you. Bribery, not my style.
So, that letter, it wasn't from you.
Well, it appears that more and more people in the city are finding out about your despicable hobby, doesn't it? You're in the clutches of justice, and very soon they will squeeze you. It's in your best interest to cooperate.
Fine. I suppose now we have a nice long talk. Do you drink, Mr.
Sherlock Holmes. And I do not.
Shame. All the best discussions are accompanied by a glass of whiskey. But out of respect for you, I won't drink either.
Respect? That's an unusual word in your mouth, Mr.
Where are my manners? My name is Thomas Norton, a British envoy in Cordona on a military mission. So, where do we start?
Alright. Alright. I think we'll start from the beginning. What happened at the party?
So, let's return to the beginning. What happened at the party?
I vaguely remember that night. As usual
Vaguely.
at such parties, you meet people, you talk with them, they invite you to spend some time alone with them. What can I say? I got myself mixed up with the wrong company, and somebody must have mixed some psychoactive substance in my drink. After that, it's all blurry. I completely lost my sanity. I made a terrible mistake which I regret deeply.
You don't say. Do refugee girls often appear on the menu at those types of parties?
It's rather rare.
So you didn't attend the party to engage in an exotic experience involving a vulnerable woman unable to accuse you of assault.
I would never have planned such a terrible thing. What happened was just bad circumstance.
Okay. Do you know Mercurio?
Boniface Mercurio, does the name mean anything to you?
He's an artist, right?
The one responsible for the painting that compromises you. I found him dead in his room.
Oh, that is bad. Wait,
Oh,
you don't think that I have
that
anything
is
to do with
bad.
this?
You had motive to kill him.
Maybe I did, but listen. I know how this looks, but murder? That's on another level. I had thoughts that this Mercutio,
Mercurio.
well, him, yes, I thought he could have been the blackmailer. But I was too afraid to make any hasty decisions. There were plenty of ways to fail by making a move, so I chose to wait. To see what he would do next. You have to believe me.
I don't believe people, I believe evidence.
Then look at the evidence.
Alright, you tried to steal the painting?
The painting that depicted you in the image of the devil was stolen by a mercenary. Did you have anything to do with it?
I might be a rotten person, sir, but hiring criminals for illicit purposes is not in my daily schedule.
And buying the painting in an attempt to hide the crime Is that on your daily schedule?
What would you do in my situation?
I would never put myself in such a situation.
You're young. I could never have imagined myself in my current position, yet here I am in front of you. We all make mistakes, Mr. Holmes, and I'm no exception.
Alright. Who is blackmailing you?
You mentioned blackmail. Tell me about it.
All right. A couple of days ago, I received an anonymous letter. It said that in the art gallery at Caravansary there exists a painting that incriminates me. The blackmailer made it clear that if there is a painting, then a photograph exists too. And I should be wary of what it might do to my reputation.
What does the blackmailer want from you?
Money, of course. What else do such people want? Needless to say, I don't remember anyone taking photographs at the party. Up until the last moment, I hoped he was bluffing. But he wasn't, as you've just proven to me.
Show me the letter.
I burnt it as soon as I read it.
Well, that's
I've left
just
enough
great.
evidence. There's no need for any more. Mr. Holmes, I've built my entire career on hard work and uncompromising dedication to the Crown. I made a mistake, but I'm not a villain from some cheap adventure fiction. By putting me behind bars, you will benefit precisely no one.
Rotting in prison is the least you deserve, but I have a better idea. You will make amends and help the ones you hurt.
I don't think Neela's going to accept the help, but maybe help the refugees in the sense of he is kind of helping her. Yeah, let's go that one.
Use your connections to help patriate the refugees, find them decent homes, give them jobs. There must be a meaning to your position and my decision.
Yes, all right, I can do that. So, will you give me the photograph now?
That's not all.
Okay. We give them both options.
Naylor deserves the very utmost of what you can do.
Help the girl? I can't risk the press paying extra attention to her. I will do anything except that.
I need to think this all through. Don't do anything foolish in the meantime.
What makes you think you can decide what's best for these people?
Such is the arrogance of British imperialism. I take your point.
Alrighty. Looks like we've got some Mind Palace stuff. Apologize for the crunching, everyone. I'm having my usual stream snack. Okay, the envoy said he was at the party but was drugged, so he barely remembers the event. He received a letter from an anonymous person who blackmailed the envoy, extorting money in exchange for the photograph. The envoy also claims that he did not hire the thief, nor is he responsible for Curio's death, but he did try to buy the painting because he was afraid of losing his social position. He claims himself guilty, but proposes a deal. If I bring him the photograph, he will help the refugees. Okay, what if we do the photo will ruin Envoy's career and Neela is the woman in the photograph? Yep, okay, perfect. What have we got here? All refugees are victims of the system. The situation they are in must and can be amended. Alright, any oh, no. Okay, another one there. The envoy's interest in the photograph is pragmatic. If he obtains it, nothing will threaten his reputation. Oh, okay. What have we got here? Ooh. Okay. Looks like we have a choice. Actually, I'll go back, see if... No. Alright, the envoy wants to secure his reputation. The British envoy violated Neela the refugee during the party. Where the photograph of the crime is to be released, it would ruin his career, or perhaps I could use that leverage to help the refugee camp. Alright, so we've got merciless justice. The envoy can be neither trusted nor forgiven for what he did. Humiliation and ostracized from an outrage called donor are the least he deserves. Give the photograph to Vogel so he can make everything public, or smaller evil for the greater good. Thomas Norton is a debaucher who has committed a terrible act. Even though he deserves to be brought to justice, I cannot overlook the opportunity to do greater good. Give the envoy the photograph in exchange for the refugees' legislation. Oh. He does deserve to rot, but the state of the refugees was terrible, so I'm going smaller evil for the greater good. I wonder if I switch it, will it have the same red? Yeah. Alright, I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't considered a wrong decision. Oh look, it could be wrong, but at least the refugees will be helped out, and in turn, it'll help Neela. Okay. Alright, I guess we'll talk to him then.
Have you thought it all through?
Well, we'll give him the photograph.
Almost. The refugees, what will happen to them?
Well, I wouldn't be standing here in this fancy office if I didn't know how to pull the right strings. In fact, it's the only thing I know. The local governor will receive a decree signed by the House of Lords containing a request to patriate the refugees in the name of the Crown.
From where did you gain such influence?
I never asked you how you found the photograph. So don't ask the magician how he performs his tricks.
But how can I believe you?
Ugh, I presume you do believe in my selfishness. The initiator of the refugee salvation will be none other than the British envoy, savior and protector of those in need. It's a win situation for me, too. Now, what about the photograph?
You deserve to be punished, but the greater good is what matters here. I won't bargain it for justice for Neela.
I'm glad that this situation is over.
It will be over when you settle the matter of the refugees.
You have my word, Mr. Holmes.
Sorry guys, just reading a quick email, won't be a sec. Alright, there we go. Sorry about that. Alright, so do we... Okay, it's still not considered closed yet. Oh, we're back here. Okay. I'm like, hang on, where are we? I completely...
Mr. Holmes, you returned.
Oh, Jesus.
Have you uncovered anything new about the theft?
I've brought news, but not all of it will please you.
Fill me in, Mr. Holmes. I won't shoot the messenger.
Sorry, I took a big bite of my snack. Okay. We'll tell him that Mercurio is dead.
I tracked down Boniface Mercurio.
I presume he wasn't delighted about the situation.
He was not having a good day on account of his murder. Killed in his own flat by the same person that stole his painting.
Oh, sweet Mercurio, perishing in the pursuit of his art. How apt. I will miss his exceptional sense of humor.
And the thief is dead.
I located the thief, but found him rather cold. He was tight-lipped about the painting, too.
He's dead. How very droll, Mr. Holmes. Warren presumes you were not responsible.
It was an accident at the refugee camp. He impaled himself on his own knife.
Life is nothing if not cruel and capricious. What about the stolen painting? Have you located it?
Unfortunately, I could not locate the missing painting.
Oh, Mr. Holmes, such disappointing news. Not even a shred of information? The slightest lead?
I'm afraid the case has gone cold.
I suppose if you were unable to find it, no one else could. What a pity. Oh, but I
I'm
can
not
tell.
sure if we should have
You
looked
learned
a
something
bit
else,
harder
didn't
for that,
you?
but we were
What
following
happened
the
to your
clues in that.
crusade of truth? Was it not that important, after all?
No truth will satisfy you, Mr. Vogel.
It was not an attack, Mr. Holmes. If you've chosen not to tell me, I respect your intention. But it is just rather boring, isn't it?
It is what it is.
Well, now that we've resolved all of our outstanding matters, I have a gift for you.
Oh,
I took
no,
the liberty
okay.
of having it delivered to Stonewood Manor. I am told it belonged to your mother.
Oh, okay. Alright, we'll ask.
Previously,
Mother.
you mentioned there may have been more to my mother's passing than consumption. It appears you were right.
Oh dear, I'd hoped to be wrong.
She was unstable, mentally unwell. She required sustained specialized treatment, but her madness persisted.
I knew that Violet had disappeared from the public eye, but had no idea of her suffering. I cannot imagine what you're feeling.
I'm fine.
That was just a bit creepy how he held Sherlock's face.
And what exactly have you sent me?
Frankly, I'm not sure how to answer that. I trust you'll know.
Okay, guess we'll find out.
Thank you, Mr. Vogel. I am curious to see what you have procured.
Alrighty, well, the case is completed. Excelente. Alright. I want Sherlock looking in his best again. And, I don't want the stubble. Hair is fine. Clean shaven man, please. Alright. Let's head back to Zemena, which is here. So we'll fast travel back. Alrighty. Let's go have a look. Who's that standing in our yard?
Mr. Sherlock Holmes, I presume.
Correct.
Yes.
With whom do I have the pleasure?
Emilio Estevez, happy to make your acquaintance. I am here on behalf of
I was
Michael.
going to say Emilio Estevez.
He's on his way to Cordona. In the meantime, he requests your assistance with a sensitive matter. My orders are to provide you with the details.
You have my attention, Mr. Estevez.
Mark Ridley, the son of General Arthur Ridley, is being blackmailed. Suffice to say, the compromising material is of a delicate nature. The matter is of no small importance to the Crown, especially given the status quo on Cordona.
Sorry, I just had my mic on mute while I've been having my snack. Alright, status quo.
What about the status quo?
The Ottoman population holds a certain animosity towards the colonial rule. It's been this way since we took over the island. General Ridley made concessions with their leaders, but I'm afraid we are still teetering on the edge of open hostility.
What does Mycroft want me to do? Retrieve the blackmail material?
No, sir, nothing of the sort. Mark Ridley is meeting the blackmailer atop the old city bridge tower. You shall observe from a distance, then establish the blackmailer's identity. Do not attempt to arrest him. We'll handle it from there.
Saving the best for yourself? Fine.
There's a cafe just over the bridge that provides a good vantage point. Please report to me when you are done. I'll be waiting for you here, and remember, discretion is of the essence.
Now we're just gonna blabber it to the whole of Cordona. I mean, really. Alright. I don't remember that elephant being there, but I don't think... What is that elephant doing? Either way, let's open this up and see what was our mother's. Oh! Okay. Oh, a mermaid? Skeleton?
It's a bizarre object, and yet oddly familiar.
Sherlock? Okay, he does remember it. Okay, some of that
Did you just
wasn't-
remember something? Yes. A room full of curiosities and artifacts. I think I can find it in the manor.
Sherlock. So, you continue to pursue the imaginary. I had hoped you might have
guessing
got all
this
this
is-
out of your system by now.
Mycroft.
Ah,
What are you doing here? Get out of my house.
It's my house, actually. I've come to bring you back.
I have no interest in returning, let alone with you. I know you lied about Mother all these years, claiming she was merely ill, but she was unstable. She never had tuberculosis. She was not recuperating, but mentally deteriorating, and you never once thought to tell me. How dare you?
I shall not indulge this petulant tantrum. You can
There's
just
every right
tie
to be
yourself
angry,
out and then
Mycroft.
slink back to London with your tail between your legs.
Just tell me everything. I'm an adult now. Show me the basic courtesy of an explanation. You know I will find out eventually.
The goal was stability, and that's what you got. The right thing for everyone was to try and move on from her passing.
The consequences of one's actions determines what is right or wrong.
Yes, exactly. The ends justify the means. After leaving Cordona, Sherlock, you had a normal childhood. In London, I was able to support you, guide you, shape you into a fine and productive young man. You have so much potential, so much to offer society.
But that's not the end. Now I found the truth, and it has shattered everything I knew about her, about you, and about myself. I feel unstable because of you. Your actions were not justified. Lying never is.
Oh, grow up, Sherlock. It was a white lie which has as much use in the realm of the interpersonal as the international. It is time you come to accept that some things are bigger than yourself.
Oh, you are full of it. You like to pretend you care about the big picture, but it's just an ego trip. You like knowing more than others. You like greasing palms and rubbing shoulders with the rich and powerful. You like having eyes and ears everywhere. The fact it helps the nation
actually.
is incidental. Because all you care about is yourself.
It's true. I have agents everywhere, including Cordona. If you weren't so damn stubborn, you'd realize that means I'm only here for you.
well, that was a good confrontation between Mycroft and Sherlock. Ooh. What can I pin? It's dusting! Hello, how are you, lovely? How you doing? Alright, let's pin this evidence. I think... Can I enter here?
Another one. There must be something important behind it. I can feel it.
Not too bad, all things considered. Oh, that's good. I'm glad you're doing good. Apologies, we haven't had our little catch up yet. It's been a little bit crazy these past couple of weekends. Okay, that is the room I want to get into. The
Another
infinite
one.
Sherlock.
There must be something important behind it. I can feel it.
Yeah, it's definitely that one. Ah. Yeah, no, that shouldn't be a problem. Oh, there's a thingy. I will be having dinner a bit late because the boys are at Cubs at the moment. So, depending on when you go for your walk, give me a message and I'll see if I'm free and not stuffing my face with food. Okay, how do I do this? Oh, good, straight, smooth.
I remember returning home with a pair of perfect sticks. We wanted to turn them into training swords.
Oh, that's right. We stood there, frozen, staring at something huge in the main hall.
Okay, what's this? Is after 9:30 a bit late?
It was a giant aquarium with a living mermaid in it.
Good lord.
Impossible.
Hello?
It must have been something else.
No? Alright. Just give us a message around 9:30. Stickity poo. Haven't heard that phrase in a while. Whoop, whoop. Dry skeleton rock.
Oh, of course, that mortifying hoax presently taking up space in our front yard.
Well, fine. Your memory's better than mine.
You're welcome.
But I'm sure we started examining it immediately. And someone else was around too.
No, it's a Mycroft. Family member, female.
It was my mother. She asked what I thought of the artifact.
You were really concentrating and holding something in your hand.
Ooh, okay. Have we got like one of those little... Oh,
I inspected it with a magnifying glass and was able to confirm it was made of two different skeletons. The mermaid was a fake.
And so it was time to smash the thing. Your mother took a hammer and...
Slow down, John. That's not how it happened. I remember other people joined us.
Oh. Where is it? Oh, there it is. People, loud voices, workers.
The workers took the artifact and placed it into the Cabinet of Curiosities. It became part of Mother's collection of fakes. She always said that the truth lies in the details. This mermaid helped me to learn that.
Oh. I guess we can go in and check out the Room of Curiosities. Eek.
Ah yes, my mother's studio. She was an authenticator and this was her Cabinet of Curiosities.
I never saw the point. What does it matter if some artifact is real or not? It still exists.
Okay, let's look at this polar bear head.
One of the most ridiculous fakes I ever saw. Its owner insisted it was a polar bear. He thought the white paint on the brown fur wasn't noticeable.
Totally noticeable. Totally noticeable. Alright, what have we got here? Cozy blanket.
I remember this cozy blanket. It was perfect for...
Wigwam! Oh, that was a joy to build them. Imagining ourselves as wayfarers on the other side of the world.
That's a bit cute. Don't want to talk to John. Well, how's your day been, Dusty? Do anything cool and interesting? Watkins and Holman, Chapter 1. Ah, I know how to control a remote.
Watkinson and Holman, Chapter 1, by Wallace Dioram.
Oh, Mycroft. He always acts so serious, but then reads tripe like this.
John, if I remember correctly, you couldn't put this book down.
And I've just made the connection. Watkins and Holman. Oh, that's funny. Suppose you had a pet swan called Dave, okay? And a pet goose called Up Yours Dave. How would you deal with Dave taking his shit on yours? I would say, Dave, I'm very disappointed in you. Please don't do that. Okay, it's a goblet of some sort.
Another fake Holy Grail.
Ah,
Its owner
Holy
claimed
Grail,
to
okay.
be the heir of King Arthur. Scarcely believable. He also insisted a deadly rabbit was hunting him.
Well, okay, let's, oh yeah, because that deer totally has fangs.
Mother said this was among the hunting trophies of a Scottish Viscount.
So he tried to persuade everyone that his forest was inhabited by these beasts. It would have been thrilling if it were actually true.
Would be pretty interesting. Alright, we'll start back here. We'll work our way back. Okay, spears and a shield.
Oh, I remember these. We used them to spar together until Mycroft found out and forbade us from using real weapons.
Mycroft the party pooper. An old scuba diver suit. I couldn't remember the name of it for the life of me. Wouldn't fall for the classic trap of shouting "Up yours, Dave," only to have your goose walk up all confusing. I try and avoid that situation. Alright, what have we got here?
This drawer was always closed. Only Mycroft knew how to open it.
I remember we tried to break it open and spy on him, but alas, had no success. Maybe today's the day. Oh, Sherry.
Well, it looks like it's locked with a key, so I think we might need to find that first. Alright, what's this letter? Dear Mr. Holmes, please accept my deepest gratitude for your recent help with that personal matter. I shudder to think what may have happened were it not for your keen eye and sharp mind. Rest assured, should our paths cross again, you will be greeted by a grateful friend, His Honour Judge McDougal. McDougal? Okay. What have we got here?
So many calling cards. Mycroft liked to keep useful people at hand.
Ah, so this must be Mycroft's desk. That's a bit on it. Because that's happened to just about everyone with this one called David August. That's true. Well, I appreciate the forewarning. I won't call my swan Dave and my goose up yours, Dave. Oh, okay. What about who's it addressed to? It's addressed to no one.
Carefully opened.
And in 1869.
Dated 24th of April, 1869.
Mr. Mycroft Holmes, the Caldona City Hall writes to inform you that the trial of Dr. Otto Richter in the death of Mrs. Violet Holmes has been assigned to His Honour Judge McDougall. Your application for a closed hearing has been granted. You are hereby informed that the prosecution has called you as a primary witness to the trial of Dr. Richter. You must present yourself at a criminal court of Cordona on the dates listed over leaf. Okay. There's another clue somewhere. Where is it? And I can't move around anymore. I've done that. Oh, good lord, where is it? Oh, okay, that one specific. Alright. Reliable and driven.
Reliable and driven. I recognize Mycroft's handwriting.
Who is reliable and driven? This person, apparently.
Officer Luciano J. Placido.
Okay. Something popped up in our mind palace. So let's have a look. Let's look at this. Memories. Good catch. One day Sherry and I returned to the manor in an excited buzz. We found 2 perfect sticks with which to practice sword finding. It was a good start to the day, but things improved further upon our discovery of can't talk. Our discovery of a giant delivery in the middle of the main hall. After opening, we discovered it was a mermaid skeleton that Mrs. Holmes was to authenticate. She was in a good mood and asked what Sherry thought about it. His answer came fast and confident. It was, of course, a fake. His mother was pleased, and in the moment, I swear I could see the happiness radiating off Sherry. Eventually, the mermaid took its place in the cabinet of curiosities among Violet's collection of other fakes and forgeries. Alright. Mycroft testified against Dr. Richter, and I'd say because of the mental illness. No? Oh, okay. Alright. Let's have a look here.
I'm not sure I want to hear its horrifying inhuman howl again.
Ugh. Okay. Okay, but suppose you're watching the ashes. Okay. The series is tied, and it's just the last bit of play to decide who wins at the MCG. Oh, come on. What about the SCG? Australia's chasing 10 runs with 9 out, and up your stage changes the channel. I won't watch the wrestling. Well, in my house these days, the family probably appreciate the cricket being turned off. If my mum was still here, she'd be like, "What?" she wouldn't be happy. She would not be happy. She'd probably tell Up Yours Dave to get up and out of the house.
Look, it's Roger. This jolly old man's well preserved. Even looks refreshed.
I doubt he drew much interest at the auction.
That's for the best. I'd be upset if he fell into the wrong hands.
That's a bloody big skeleton. Again, probably why it's a fake. Something was broken and smashed. Interesting. Ooh, what's here?
An archaeological find should be here. It's far better than beneath the old city walls. An archaeological find should be here. It's far better than beneath the old city walls.
Don't know why it didn't darken when I looked at it. Oh, sarcophagus.
The so-called mummy of a Persian princess. The defrauders did good work, but missed one small detail. It's the mummy of a man.
That one slight detail screwed it for them all. Would she base Up Yours David and roast him for 2 hours and serve and bake? Oh, potentially. That could very well have happened. A suit of armor.
The full plate armor of Sir Robert Swanford. I was told my father won it in a wager.
Armour is armour, but look at his sword. Oh, how badly I wanted to wield the blade. Maybe you take it instead of your pistol.
It's a little bit hard to conceal a sword. Can't exactly stick it down your pants and walk normally.
And this one was brought from a German museum. They claimed it belonged to Vikings. Nonsense, of course. Vikings never had horns on their helmets.
Apologies for the crunching. I try and do it quietly, but sometimes it just doesn't happen. Alright, what's in the boxes? What have we got here? Ah. Things I have to read and say. Alright, Mrs. Holmes is a patient of considerable interest and an ideal test subject to explore some of my theories. Okay, this ought to be good. I will attempt to repeatedly immerse her in the traumatic situation that has precipitated her mental illness. It is my belief that reliving that moment may give her mind a chance to embrace what happened, accept it, and effectively cure itself. I'm confident in my hypothesis and merely need to prove it. In addition, it's fortuitous to be around the broader Holmes family. Perhaps I will be able to also examine the heredity of psychological traits, be they competencies or disorders. Competencies, oh my god, or disorders. It is already apparent that all family members share an uncommonly high intelligence. It appears that the mother's condition has begun to affect the mind of the youngest boy, Sherlock. While I cannot conduct a proper medical examination due to the protectiveness of the eldest son, it seems that the boy suffers ongoing hallucinations in the form of an imaginary friend, John. Keep that one quiet. Alright, what about this one? My dear brother, I heard you recently arrived on Cordona. Have you come to see me? I do miss our evening conversations, even if we never agree in our opinion. Cordona is home to a stunning new art gallery which I visit every Thursday. Meet me there. Oh, and do not seek Klaus. I left that name behind. Oh, this is looking good. To answer your question, it's too much to type, so I'll chat your ears off and okay. No, that is fair enough. What have we got here? Ah, I know what I'm doing. The Tulpa. Studies in Tibetan mentalism.
The Tulpa. Studies in Tibetan mentalism. An impressive number of bookmarks. Someone was rather obsessed with this subject.
Maybe just a little too obsessed. And by the looks of things, there is a torn up diploma. Diploma of what? A torn document found in the Cabinet of Curiosities. Someone deliberately ripped it into several pieces. I wouldn't call that several, it's 2 pieces. Reassembled and translated, the diploma reads, on behalf of the board of the University of Geneva, Switzerland, we rectors of the university, noting that Dr. Otto Richter has undergone the tests required by the laws and regulations, confer on him the degree of Doctor of Medicine with the rights and prerogatives so attached. Is it a legit one,
I'm
though?
starting to remember something.
Oh, there was an accident. Oh, no. I keep pressing the wrong one.
When you're finished here, can we build a wigwam from the blankets? Like in the good old days?
Oh, John. Ah, there it is. Early morning footsteps.
Ah, the memory comes back. We snuck about watching him.
Wah!
He closed the drawer and went to the hall. We were like 2 shadows crawling behind him.
And he probably knew that you were there. Alright, where are we going? Which way? Okay. Male, uniform.
He opened the door to the postman, and they exchanged documents. If it was a real postman, of course.
Okay, then I guess we'll go up the stairs. Landscape tilted.
The painting on the wall was slightly atilt. He stopped and straightened it.
Okay, where do we go from here? No. Follow the footsteps. Did he burn something? Log, fire, crackle.
Then he threw some logs into the fire and sat in his armchair to read.
It's as boring now as it was then. I'm sorry, Sherry, but I think that's it.
Wait, John, we never use the fireplace in the mornings. What if...
Dumpty ended his life. His brains ended up in my chicken. I had to pick out a bit of... Oh, no! Okay. Oops. Okay. Let's pin that. Looks like we got more in the Mind Palace. This has to be a connection. I knew it! Mycroft did not like the methods of Dr. Otto Richter and did not trust him. My imaginary friend John? Okay. Yeah, I should have seen that one coming. My mother struggles with mental illness, could well be hereditary and affect my mind and rationality. Alright. What else have we got here? Alright. So... Ah! Old ladder, last shelf.
I used this ladder to look at the top shelf, right? On the day of Mother's breakdown upstairs.
Right you are, Sherry.
What would you do if a potential customer walked into your work and said, oh, okay, here we go. Large artifact.
We heard a noise. I can't recall of exactly what. And we didn't have a great view from behind the statue. Books and papers from the table somehow ended up on the floor. Now it's coming to the surface. I feel it.
Alright. Let's put this scene together. Okay, the kid's throwing something. Or... Alright, let's leave that one. We'll go to the next one. Okay, John did say that they were playing with those until they got into trouble. And that they didn't have a good view behind that. Okay, Mycroft ripping up the diploma. Or it's gotta be another one. I don't think that happened. I think we'd do that. Look, I haven't got any money, but I have just crapped my tax. Is it okay if I bounce it? I would respectfully decline. Or at least try and help him get to the bathroom. Alright, let's try that. It's probably going to be wrong.
You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
Alright, let's try that one.
Come on,
There we
Sherry.
go.
Let's go outside. Wait. Did you hear that? Come here, Sherry.
You call this progress? Charlatan, amateur. I'm not letting you anywhere near my mother again.
So there was a quarrel between them.
Clearly Mycroft picked it up from the start. Well, at least a good way in. It all happened shortly after the incident in Violent Room on April 9th. Sherry decided to play with the artifacts in the Cabinet of Curiosities, and of course I went with him. As a result, we became unintentional witnesses to an argument between Mycroft and Otto Richter. Sherlock's brother was angry. He was sure that Dr. Richter had done something dubious to their mother. I would consider that, yes. And that it had backfired, he called Otto a charlatan.
I heard a noise in the hall. Let's check it out.
More guests? We don't need any more guests here. Okay, nothing in the Mind Palace came up. Alright, let's... So we'll go out and... see. Hello?
Sherry, look! We've got a parcel here. Hurry up and let's see what's inside.
By the looks of things, you've opened it, John. You can already see it's a mask and a note and a costume, maybe? Dear Mr. Holmes, I'm waiting for you at Kurt something mansion on Turquoise Lane across from the Cordonia Abbey in the northern Grand Surrey. Come at once. If inconvenient, come anyway. Always your friend, Vivi. P.S. I sent you the appropriate outfit for this place to avoid any unnecessary complications. I hope it fits.
An invitation that comes with a mask. We can't miss this,
Oh.
Sherry.
New case called Sacrificial Lamb. This just keeps getting better. Alrighty, well, we've got a couple of things going on. We should probably help Mycroft first. So let's pin that evidence. So, okay, we've got to go to the Primrose Cafe at the western side of the Old City Bridge. So, we'll head outside. And then we'll pull out our map. No, that's Caesar's Bridge. What about this one? Greek Bridge. Maltese Bridge. Old City Bridge. Okay, so we might want to go there. Alright. Actually, I might... Is that the bridge there? I think I'm pointing in the right direction. Oh, I am! Excellent. Imagine if this game had a hidden room where you could watch AC/DC perform Thunderstruck. Before the lead singer's death, like how they originally... Shut up, Lisa. It didn't... My train of thought didn't work, and I'm just going to leave it there. Alright, I am just going to take a very quick break, and I'll be back in a couple minutes. Won't be long. And I'm back. Alrighty. Okay. Run, Sherlock, run! Alright, whereabouts? Okay. This is the Primrose Cafe, I am guessing? Oh, yes.
Here, grab a seat.
Oh. Thank you for grabbing a table, John.
You even brought a book, huh?
May I have... Same as always.
You just don't give up, do you?
Come on, let's get closer. We can't see anything from here.
No, too early.
So we're just going to sit here all day?
Patience, John. I have a feeling this is more than simple blackmail. We'll be close when the blackmailer leaves, and then...
Go!
Oh no. Well, shit.
Oh, not a pretty sight, this.
What's happened? Oh, who is it?
Oh. Oh god. I guess we'll look at the body first, I'm guessing.
Oh. Oh.
Poor guy.
Head trauma. Fatal. Gravity is cruel like that.
Okay, let's check this out.
A rather frivolous accessory for a military man. Shame it's all bloody now.
Okay.
He was stabbed several times before he fell. The shape of the wounds suggest a curved blade.
Okay. Got a key.
Who's it?
Obviously a hotel room
A
key.
key, and where there's a key, there's a lock.
It's almost like he's dancing.
Dancing the dance macabre.
Oh, come on, gentlemen. Okay. Something else. Where? Ah. Haha. I was gonna say with his own knife, but it's not curved unless he's talking about the end.
The knife is missing.
No signs of life, no pulse. I'm declaring Corporal Ridley dead.
Alright. Looks like maybe something got dropped here. No?
Who's it?
Okay. Are there any witnesses? Maybe I'm dressed in the wrong.
Lovely to see you.
Do you see anything, sir?
Please move along. The police are on their way. Everything's under control.
Is it now? The General's
Don't
own
think it
son has
is.
fallen out of the tower, and not without help, it seems. I need to inspect the scene, and quickly.
The corporal? He ordered me not to let anyone inside without telling him. But now... Wait, are you saying it's a murder?
No, he just impaled himself and threw himself off the tower. Alright, what inch? Okay, key.
A
Let's
brief
like that
examination of the body was enough for me to conclude that he was murdered by a blade of Ottoman origin.
You can't possibly be so certain.
Oh, I can be. The corporal suffered deep stab wounds which were inflicted with great force. They were made by a knife meant for cutting, not stabbing. A curved blade, such as an Ottoman jambir or a Gurkha kukri. I haven't seen any Gurkhas on the island, so the conclusion is quite obvious.
Amazing. You do seem more than
We
competent.
are quite amazing, thanks.
All right. Go in. I'll wait here for the police.
you see anything suspicious?
Did you see anything suspicious?
No, sir, nothing. Corporal Ridley had to attend to some private matters upstairs. No one went in, no one came out. Oh, but that means the killer is still inside. Are you sure you want to go in alone?
I'm not alone. I have my friend with me.
Your friend? You mean your gun? There's no one...
Never mind, I'll be fine.
Alrighty. Well, let's go inside then.
Killer's gone. Vanished into thin air.
That can't be right. Alright. Well, that is Ridley's knife.
The edge is covered with blood, but the tip is clean. This blade is a naval officer's dirk. Sharp and well cared for.
Okay, that must be where he fell out the window. Okay. Got some blood splattered there. Alright, let's have a look at this. Was that money?
Exactly 100 mangears. The killer didn't touch them.
Okay, so it wasn't robbery or blackmail for money. Okay, what's this? I know all about your latest affair. Meet me in the old city bridge tower. Ooh, come alone and bring 100 mangears. You don't want the word to reach the wrong ears. So it looks like there was potential, like, money blackmail, but the blackmailer didn't, take it. Unless Ridley was the blackmailer. It's hard to hear me. Ha! Okay, how's that? The microphone volume was turned down. Does that sound a bit better? Yeah. Don't know how that happened. Sorry about that. Alright. Fresh blood, freshly broken. Okay. Got that there. We've got some stuff over here. Mud traces.
Can you
Sweaty
smell the body
odor.
odor, John? Someone's been hiding in here. Someone sweaty.
Unless it's a laundry chest. But then it's a different mystery altogether. The case of the vanishing sweaty pantaloons.
Oh dear. Alright, let's have a look at the
This
ashtray.
cigarette is still smouldering.
I suppose, to be honest, we weren't that far behind what was going on. Alright, John, let's walk through. Alright, we'll start over here first. Okay, yeah, that's one possibility. No. It's not that one. So he was stabbed. The curved blade. Yep. Alright, let's go over here. Alright, what's the other alternative? just for curiosity's sake. Yeah, that's him getting pushed out the window. Yeah, what's the other one? I can't tell if that blade is curved or not. Actually, it might be. Okay, I'll validate that in a sec. So, which band would you prefer to watch live out of Public Enemy or Justin Bieber? Probably Public Enemy. I'm not that much of a Bieber fan.
You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
Alright, maybe it's that one.
You're not even
No.
trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
Alright, go that one. Okay, let's try that. There
Ridley
we
was
go.
attacked by his blackmailer, but before being pushed out the window, Ridley managed to wound him. The killer must still be bleeding.
Alright, what's in... Simple blackmail ended with murder. The killer was hiding in the chest on top of the... What memories are there? Oh, yeah. Okay, well, I don't think there is anything else we can do up here. The only other thing is maybe the blackmailer got out through that way. That's the only possible way. Oh, hang on. I missed
Could have joined
something.
the Navy after all. That'd make Mycroft so happy, you know.
Shut up, John.
I guess we'll need to put that
So
on at
what
some
happened?
point.
Was there anyone upstairs?
No, the killer escaped. We're dealing with a carefully planned assassination.
Alright. Did you know Mark Ridley?
What can you tell me about the deceased?
We were from the same unit, stationed together at the barracks by the bridge, but I can't say I knew him well. Maybe someone at the barracks could tell you more.
Okay, well, this question probably won't be very helpful, but, did he have any enemies?
Do you know if the corporal had any enemies? Someone who would want him dead?
No, none that I know of. But then again, there's always the Ottomans. They'd want all of us soldiers dead, I reckon.
John, what are you doing?
Oh, who's it?
Are you able to help me?
I'm afraid I don't know about it.
Okay. Yeah, we'll just ask the people.
Is
Why
this
not?
familiar to you?
Doesn't remind me of anything. Someone else can help better, sir.
Everyone's looking at us, Sherry. You sure you know what you're doing?
I do know what I'm doing. I'm asking
Can you
questions.
satisfy my curiosity?
A man like you should not speak to a man like me.
Great to see you. Who's it?
May I ask for your assistance?
Excuse me? What? I'm not sure I know. You obviously haven't thought this all through. Or are you just annoying these people on purpose?
I think I'm annoying people on
May I
purpose.
ask you a question?
A man like you should not speak to a man like me.
Okay, maybe in that case, should we put on our Navy uniform? Hello, sailor. Oh god. Police cap. No. Alright, let's see if we can just get away with this. Alright, we'll try this again.
May I ask you something?
Bad luck, sailor. I don't have a clue about that.
Okay. What about the lady?
May I ask you something?
I can't help you with this.
This isn't working. You might need a different tack.
Is this familiar to you?
Let's pretend you did not ask me.
May I ask you something?
Sorry, mate. I've no idea.
Sorry,
Time to check your
mate.
who, what, and what, Cherry. Who are you asking? About what and dressed as what?
Alright, maybe we should dress differently. Straight brawler. Alright, let's go workers.
What's happened?
May I ask you something?
Sorry, pal. I can't remember.
Okay. Alright, where's the rope that we were
Who's it?
looking for? Is it here?
What's happened? Who is it?
I wonder how I should be dressed. I'm just having a look. Sherlock Holmes, Chapter 1. Oh, what case am I doing? Love, Death, and Cordona. Love, Death, and Cordona. Walk through.
Who's it?
It's tough, but I made it.
Nice to see you. What's happened? Who is it?
Okay. Primrose Cafe. Yep, we've checked the body. We've checked upstairs. Oh, one thing is we didn't check the rope. Apparently we can get a closer look at the rope. Nope. Why is it saying I can interact with it? Okay. Alright. Meeting gone wrong. Okay, let's pin that. Oh, there we go. Okay. Ah, bloody handprints. There we go. We got it. So our man sailed down that way. Alright, so we'll go check out where that rope leads to.
What's happened? What? Oh, who is it? My goodness. Who's it?
Alright, what about the other side? Is the other side going to give me any indication whatsoever of a rope? Ah, there it is. Okay, looks like we might need to try and get up this way, maybe? Aha! Alright. So he's gone down that way. No worries, testing. Ah, there we go.
That was a rough landing.
Probably didn't have anything to stop himself on. Can I not climb up? That kind of looks like a bell. I can see it there. Okay, is there anything else? No, bugger it. Right, he used the rope to escape. Yes, we've established that. Okay, in that same yard is a big wooden pillar with knives sticking. Ah, okay. Oh. Oh god, I thought that was... Oh, okay.
Wow. Amazing, right?
Disturbing
Pillar
is
and
more like it.
knives. Okay, this probably stuck the knife in her hair. That looks like it.
Aha, a curved knife covered in fresh blood. There we go.
Okay, well, rotate it.
Doubt that this eagle is purely ornamental.
Careful, Sherry. Locals aren't too happy with what you're doing.
Who do you think you are?
I'd better leave the
Leave
knife here.
Don't touch.
Now is a bad time to ruffle my feathers.
We're moving away.
Go away
We're
from
moving
it.
away.
Go away.
Oh, we're moving. Relax. Okay, so I found a curved bloodstained knife stuck in a peculiar wooden pole amongst dozens of other knives. When I tried to remove it, the locals became angry. At least I can take a photograph of it. Right. How do I work the photo? How do I work the camera? LT. Aha.
It's sacred. Infidel. Leave it.
Okay. Thankfully, that photo was
Stop
good
that.
enough.
Don't touch those.
We're nowhere near it now. Okay, so whereabouts are we? We've done that one. We've done that one. An eagle with outstretched wings is engraved on the knife. Significant detail, no doubt. Okay. I guess our next step would be trying to figure out who the knife belongs to, in the sense of figuring out the symbol. Let's pin that, and then we can go from there. I'll have to figure out where that key belongs. Alright, what would be a good place to go? Not the watchtower. Ooh. Before I do anything else, I'm going to see if there is something at the market for us. Because it had a little red exclamation mark, which means...
Another knife in the pillar. Another debt paid in blood. Another...
Alright, let's see what we can work out. I just came here to buy some furniture, but, you know, if we can eavesdrop, why not? Father. Sailed to Balkans. Okay, no. Old custom. Imprisoned. Imperial conquests. No. Okay, old conquest is one.
Another knife in the pillar.
Okay. Imperial conquests. No. Old custom. Imprisoned. No. Family honor. Blood vengeance. There we go. Got it. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. Or blood vengeance came to Cordona from Albania during the Ottoman rule. Some locals find it appalling. Some, but not all. And the Pillar of Knives stands high as a grim reminder of that. Ugh. Okay. Alright, let's check out the furniture store.
Oriental rugs at a good price. Marhaba. It's a good day for a purchase.
Ooh. I want to say
May
that
your
belonged to
purchase
Mum.
bring you joy.
There we go. Okay. Oops. Alright. Watchtower's not gonna help. That's not gonna help. The mosque isn't gonna help. Key evidence collected. All evidence collected. Where should I go? Okay, I've taken a photo. Okay, I need to get to the barracks. Where are the barracks? Okay, where are the goddamn barracks? Alright. No, that's the docks. Unless it's in that little bit of grey area that I haven't explored yet. That's the cemetery. It's the miners' market. Silverton Port. See, there's a bit up here that I haven't explored either. Alright, what I might do is I might travel to observation point. We'll walk to that grey area. Though I will swap into the marine outfit. No. Let's go that one. Or, whoops. Okay, now that works better. Okay, we'll go slightly tanned. Alright, we'll work with that. Try and find these barracks before I finish up for the night. Oh, sorry. I know not where I run. What is this place?
Are you able to help me?
Listen, friend. I like your face. I'll tell you.
Oh. Oh. Okay, that was unexpected. Okay, Ottomans say it's the symbol of the House of Hassan, the most revered family in the Old City. Their house stands on the western side of the Old City Market. Okay, we'll pin that again. Okay, it doesn't look like I can get in that particular spot. And I can't get through the rest of that way. Alright, clearly that is not our destination to go. So maybe it's over here. Alright, let's go to the Drinking Dutchman. Keep pressing the wrong one. Oh, actually. After coming from Aldbridge, it's the first building on the left. It has a red banner and a yellow crossed sword on it. So is it that way or is it that way? Okay, let's go back to observation point. Could this be it? Aha!
You aren't here to relieve me from duty, are you? Oh, well.
No. Sorry. Okay. Okay. What did they say would be... Okay, time to pin the victim profile. Okay.
Excuse me, just one question.
Ah, I know this, yeah, let me help you.
A known Lothario. He has recently ended his promiscuous ways after meeting the One. Okay.
Is this familiar to you?
I don't know, but I'm sure there are others who'd be glad to help a fella in uniform.
Alright, so we've got one piece of information. What about this gentleman holding the gun?
Are you able to help me?
I'd help you if I could, but I know nothing.
Alright. Don't tell me it's not working, John. It's working perfectly well. I've already got one piece of information. Ooh! Okay. Let's talk to this gentleman.
Are you able to help me?
I'd help you if I could, but I know nothing.
Alright. So, this is
Nice.
probably his
A
room.
room after my own heart.
A little austere for my taste.
Alright, let's have a look around. Okay, that is probably Mark and his
Being
father.
the son of a general must be difficult.
Rise all the way to the top, make me proud, son.
Rise
Wow,
all the
no
way to the
pressure.
top. Make me proud, son.
No pressure at all. Son, as you are aware, our position on Cordona is that of a man astride a three-legged horse. 2 legs are the manpower and ships. The third, like it or not, is the house of the eagle. Remove one and everything will collapse. So, would you kindly pull up your damn trousers and start behaving like Ridley? I have tolerated your escapades long enough, and now I hear you have been gallivanting around the old city. You must stop immediately. Ottomans live by their own rules. As long as we respect them, our fragile peace holds. Do not disappoint me. General Arthur Ridley. Okay. Anything else before I engage in this? Possibly not. Alright. Scratch marks.
There are scratches on the floor. The locker was moved.
Okay. Ooh, secrets. What have we got here? Okay, we got some money.
That's quite a hefty sum. Enough to start a new life.
2 tickets to somewhere.
2 tickets to London. Would have been a very different ending for the corporal's story.
And looks like we have some letters. Maybe some love letters. Since our last meeting, I have been dreaming of our short time together, but my dreams keep turning into nightmares. I fear that someone will find out. I know what I said before, but I was wrong. I want the life you promised. I'm ready to escape with you. I'll be waiting for you at my house at dawn. Use the entrance with no eagle over it. The servants will expect an Ottoman woman wearing the scarf I gave you. Oh. He was going to cause some controversy. Alrighty, can I... Nothing. Alright. So I got the general's letter. So, looks like we'll have to disguise ourselves. If I create the right chemical solution, I will be able to remove the stains without damaging the fabric. No. Alright, so we'll clean the scarf, and looks like we'll have to use the scarf to meet Mr. Ridley's lover. And I'm gonna skip because I can't do this component. Science was never my forte. Alright. Now that I've cleaned the scarf off, I can use it for a disguise. Can't change clothes here. Alright, so maybe... Can I enter anyone else's room? No. That would just be smart. And too easy. Okay. I wonder, is there anything interesting downstairs?
Ridley's blood is on Ottoman hands. I just know it.
Alright, gonna get some more information. Alright. Tribunal? No. Take revenge? Go to the pub? No. Serve together? No. Disobedience? No. British fleet? General speak? Corporal's murder? No. Oh, I had 2 out of 3.
Ridley's blood is on Ottoman hands. I just...
Alright. Okay, let's clear. Yeah, I didn't think that worked. Serve together. Disobedience. Maybe? Okay. Corporals. Ah, no. Take revenge. Ah, I was too slow.
Ridley's blood is on...
Get it this time. We'll get it this time. No. No. Yes. No. No. Take revenge? No. Disobedience. There we go. Got it. I have overheard a conversation between Marines. Agitated by the corporal's murder, they were eager to take justice into their own hands. Their officer urged calm, insisting that they must wait for superior orders. Okay, all evidence collected apparently. Good to know. I'll leave you guys to polishing your stuff. And we'll head back outside. I feel we need to go to a clothing trader. Okay, I'll just turn it to the left. And we'll see what we've got here.
Don't miss out on my unique clothes. Let's pick something that suits you.
Alright, I feel I'm gonna need something female mother outfit. That's not gonna work. Nope. Female Ottoman outfit. Here we go. We will buy that one.
A good choice. A good choice indeed.
Oh, I
Let's
should probably
pick
get the
something
hat
that
too,
suits you.
hey. If there's a hat. Mother's hat. Ottoman headscarf. Cover with class. Might need to get that. Alright, we'll buy that.
A good choice. A good choice indeed.
Alright, let's go back into the wardrobe. Let's stick with that one. Shoot, I keep pressing the wrong one. Okay, we'll go that. A silk scarf. Okay. I think we may have our costume. All right. I think we got it.
Nice affordable clothes. Step right up.
Whoop. Sorry, Sherlock. All right. Okay. Now we've got to find... Actually, we do know where they are. The House of Hassan, the most revered family in the Old City. Their house stands on the western side of the Old City Market. All right, Old City Market, and that is to the west. So if we plonk ourselves here, it's basically just a straight walk this way. Okay, what does it say? Oh, crap. Use the servants' entrance with no eagle over it. Alright, so we've got to keep an eye out for an eagle, but then use the other one. If anyone sees an eagle, let me know. I can't see shit. Oh, it's this. Oh, wow. Okay, so that must be the front door. So it said use the door that doesn't have an eagle on it. Above it. Alright, here we go.
My love, oh, I'm so... Who are you? Where's Mark? Answer me or I'll call for help.
You will do no such thing, Jalen. We both know it.
How do you know my name? And why are you wearing this scarf? What has happened?
A flood of questions, but I only have one answer. Mark Ridley is dead.
No, this cannot be. You're lying. Tell me you're lying.
Oh,
Keep your
sweetheart,
voice
I
down,
wish we
miss.
were.
I don't have time for a lady's hysterics. Mark has been murdered, and I believe that the murderer is part of this house.
No, it was a secret. We were meeting. How could anyone find out?
The truth always comes out one way or another, but enough of this. Tell me, have you seen anything suspicious here?
No, I heard the servants talking about blood near the main entrance, but I didn't think... This is too much for me. I can't.
It is someone from her house.
Why did you have to be so mean to her?
I wasn't mean. Now is not the time for pity.
Is that you or your reptilian brain talking?
Reptilian brain. Woo! Alright, let's put our little feelers out. So... Alright. Jalen heard the servants talking about blood near the main entrance. So we'll pin that evidence. See what we can find. Oh, there it is.
A bloody trail. Let's see where it leads.
Oh, where's this person's a staggering around the flowers into here. Okay. All right. I think that's where the trail ends. Yep. So I think this is... He's dumped the clothes.
A pile of fresh clothes. How convenient.
We have some bloody
All soaked in
clothes.
blood. Well, a fresh shirt is as good a lead as any.
So, think you can identify the killer on the first try?
Huh. Do you doubt me?
God, I doubt myself. Okay. Alright, so I can see at least two gentlemen. He's looking pretty sorry for himself. Alright. Though he wouldn't... You'd think he wouldn't hang around the front if it was him. Unless that's his position. Alright, let's observe. Consumed by guilt or stress? Red spots? Oozing from the bandage. Hands are shaking and there's cuts and scrapes. His knife is missing. I'm gonna say he is remorseful. So the culprit is at the house of the Eagle. Judging by his ornamented sheath, he is the Seacon of this family, wearing a bloody bandage under his shirt and due to the missing knife, and he is clearly the murderer. Looks like the consequences of this actions are finally sinking in. Everything his bearings indicate that he's smitten with the remorse that he did. All right, sorry guys, just got to answer this call. Won't be a sec. Oh, the hubby sounds very tired. Very tired indeed. All right. So we'll quickly see what happens with this, and then I will finish up for the night, so I can go help them bring dinner in. Actually, keep an eye on where they are. All right, so we're going to say remorseful. All right, we'll accept
What are you
that.
staring at, you crazy woman?
Call me crazy. Ooh. What should we do? Should we confront him? Or should we... Sorry, I'm just seeing what potentially the best course of action is. Okay, for identifying him on the first try, the correct killer is the man standing near the main gate. Oh, should I Alright, let's confront him.
So, here you are. The wounded eagle in its eyrie.
What the hell? An Englishman here? Why are you wearing a dress?
I hate to interrupt you while you're struggling with your conscience. Perhaps you ought to have made peace with it before doing the deed.
My conscience is perfectly clear, Britt. Do you have any idea who you're talking to?
Indeed I do. You are the obedient son of this house. Obedient and wounded. But let me explain.
I am Osai, son of Hassan. You are on my father's property, and you better stop all this jabbering nonsense.
My name is Sherlock Holmes. I have every reason to believe that you were involved in the murder of Mark Ridley.
Are you accusing me?
Well, I've got no other option. Let's accuse. Okay. So I gotta... So what have we got here? So we got the blood.
Have you completely lost your goats? This is crazy.
Ha! Certainly no crazier than the callow where you ambushed the corporal.
Ooh, okay.
What are you
no?
saying?
Shit.
What's all this pickled cabbage?
Shit.
I'm saying, please pardon the metaphor, he was a fishbone that became lodged in your throat. You had a strong motive to see him dead.
Crap. Okay, I've got to see. Alright. So...
All right, that's enough. First, you sneak into my house.
Oh, God,
And
okay.
now this? We'll put you down like the rabid dog you are.
Oh, shit. I don't want to fight.
I'm coming for you.
Terribly sorry. No more crime for you until next month.
Eat lead.
Oh, shit. I've seriously got to get behind this guy.
Die.
May I? Don't cry, you'll live.
I'm coming for you.
The snuff's ready.
Too simple.
Oh god.
I couldn't miss the party.
Don't cry, you'll live.
Okay.
I couldn't miss the party.
Don't bother moving.
Give him the pepper snuff.
Too simple.
Oh, Jesus.
No, you killed him. Hey.
Okay, I didn't mean to kill him. Oh shit, missed it.
I couldn't miss the party.
Ah, no. Oh, please say that's
The
it.
snuff's ready.
Oh, thank God. I only killed 2 of them.
It's time for you to go to prison, Azai. Come with me, and let's do so peacefully this time.
You'll regret this, Brit.
Can we talk to him?
Get out of my face, Brit.
Oh, dear. Okay. Though I couldn't get him to confess, all the evidence points to Azai, the House of Eagle. The police can handle the case from here. Now I need to report back to Mr. Estevaux. I've decided to arrest the culprit. The police can handle the rest. Now I need to report back. Alright, we will quickly report back. I think. Can I get out this way?
This area is restricted.
Well, how the diddly do I get out?
Mr. Holmes, I am in no position to reprimand you, but you should know that your unwarranted intervention will cost us dearly.
Oh.
I did what I had to do. The killer was brought to justice.
I didn't expect you to be so narrow-minded. You have undermined your brother's efforts, and now we will have to face the consequences.
Such is the price of law and order, Mr. Estevaux. Everyone must be held accountable for their actions.
I couldn't get the right answers.
Law and order? You are clearly oblivious of the bigger picture, Mr. Holmes. There is no point in us discussing it further. I bid you good day.
You did everything right, Sherry, no matter what Mycroft or his henchmen will say.
Are you going to say anything to me now? Huh?
Good day, Mr. Holmes.
Good day, Mr. Holmes.
Did you hear Basilio Capello is in jail? A dead body was found in his showroom.
Ooh. Sounds like we may have another case. That will have to wait. Wife is devastated. Let's go. Press scandal. No. Claims innocence. Under my mattress. Okay. Something company.
Did you hear Basilio Capello is in jail? A dead body was...
Vendetta? No. Press scandal? Okay, that one. Wife is devastated. Not doing too well with this.
Did you hear Basilio?
Alright. That's a no. That's a no. That's a yes. Dead in the safe. Ooh. Under my mattress. No. Press scandal. No. Claims innocence. Didn't try that one. Okay, there we go. My curiosity has been piqued by talk that Basilio Capello, the owner of the infamous Arma Capello home security company, has been arrested. His situation is quite peculiar. A man named Niccolo Detti has been found dead inside a safe in the Basilio store. Basilio claims innocence, but the evidence is against him. He is being held in the holding cells at the police station.
In the police? Let's pretend to be cops, eh? We can just stand around and look confused.
Oh, John, you're funny. Well, I guess we could dress like a policeman. We do have a policeman's uniform. Pardon me, sorry. I keep pressing the wrong one. I don't think facial hair is gonna help. What about... Okay, that looks better. So no stubble. That won't work. We've got the hat. Okay. Okay, it sounds like... Alright. What have we got here? My curiosity... Okay, we'll pin that evidence. What about this one? John suggested that I join... Alright. We are dressed, ready to go, with new stuff pinned, but I am going to have to leave it there for tonight. My boys aren't too far away with dinner. Thank you all so much for joining me tonight. Special shout out to Dustin. Thank you so much for keeping me company in chat. Yeah. I definitely 100% won't be streaming this weekend. I am attending a wedding up in the Hunter Valley, so I'll be there for a couple of nights, and but I will definitely be back next Tuesday, and we will have some more Sherlock fun. Alright, let's see if there is someone we can raid. Let's have a look. Have a little look-see. Little look-see, look-see, look-see. Who could we raid? Oh, there's someone playing 2 Point Campus. Oh. Actually, you know what? I think I might just leave it here for tonight. We'll do a raid next time. Alrighty. Thank you again for joining me. Hope you all enjoyed. I will see you all next week. Look after yourselves. We're all in this big wide world together, so we got to have each other's back. And if we do that, we can get through anything. Love you all so much, and I will see you next time. Bye.